My long-range Model 3 has hit 50,000 miles in a little over 2 years. I'm going to go through all the costs, which include charging, maintenance, and insurance, and compare them to what an average gas car would have cost me over those miles. I did a whole 50,000 mile review, which included cost and a bunch of other things. That's on my channel, but in this video, I'm just talking about the costs. So let's go ahead and talk about my main expense first, which has been charging. And technically, I'm just a hair over 52,000 miles. You can see my total spent charging over the life of my car in 2022 was $689, in 2023 was $1,679, and in 2024 so far, it's been $472. And that all adds up to a total charging cost of $2,840. And the app is pretty cool because it actually shows you how much you spent at home versus at superchargers. So at home over that time, in 2022, I spent $276. In 2023, I spent $718, and so far in 2024 at home, I spent $341 for a total at-home charging cost of $1,335. And on the other hand, supercharging in 2022, I spent $413. In 2023, I spent $961, and so far in 2024, I spent $131 for a grand supercharging cost total of $1,505. Which I actually found kind of interesting because we charge at home pretty much all the time except when we go on road trips, which kind of makes sense because on road trips, although we're only gone for a weekend or a week or two at most, we do rack up a lot of miles, and superchargers are quite a bit more expensive than at-home charging. So just keep in mind, if you're somebody who doesn't road trip as much as we do, your cost for charging can be a lot less than what ours is. But anyways, $2,840 to go a little over 52,000 miles may or may not sound like a lot. So let's see what it would have cost us if we were in a gas car. And what's cool about the Tesla app is that when calculating these savings, it takes into account the average gas prices in your state. And I think gas is a little more expensive here in Nevada. So anyways, 2022, like I said, I spent $689 charging. Gas would have cost me $1,771, so I saved a total of $1,082 that year. In 2023, I spent $1,679. Gas would have cost me $4,244. So that year I saved $2,565. And this year so far, like I said, I spent $472 charging. Gas would have cost me $1,474, and this year I have saved $1,002 so far. So adding it all up, like I said, I spent $2,840 charging. Gas over the last 52,000 miles would have cost me somewhere around $7,296. So in total, by not having to get gas, I have saved $4,649, which is a pretty good chunk of change, and that's only for charging. Let's go ahead and talk about maintenance next. And spoiler alert, this will be a short section because I have not done much to my car because I haven't had to. Maintenance-wise, the things I've done so far, I've put in air filters, I've put air in my tires, I've done tire rotations 3 times, and I bought a gallon of windshield washer fluid. And that's it. The air filters I installed myself, and listen, I'm not very handy, so if I can do it, you can definitely do it. I bought these air filters from Amazon from a company called Baysnor. They're very easy to put in. The kit comes with everything that you need. I'll leave a link down below if you're interested. And these cost me $30. I have put air in my tires a few times. It doesn't cost me anything, but it is maintenance and something that I can do myself. I've also rotated and balanced my tires 3 times. I think Tesla recommends specifically every 6,250 miles to rotate your tires. So maybe over the last 52,000 miles, I should have done it more often, but I've done it 3 times so far for a total of $40 each, which adds up to a total of $120 by balancing and rotating my tires. And yes, I did have to buy a gallon of windshield washer fluid, even living here in Vegas. Although it was not from Vegas, it was from our cross-country road trip. We got stuck in Colorado in a snowstorm, so we went through a ton of the windshield washer fluid, so I had to refill it. I stopped at a local gas station there, and that cost us a total of $8. And technically, I had this maintenance as well. This literally happened the morning after I got my car. I had 17 freaking miles on the odometer. And while it sucked, it was 100% the other driver's fault, obviously. So this actually didn't cost me anything except for some severe heartbreak for a while. So between the air filters, rotating my tires, and the windshield washer fluid, maintenance has cost me a total of $158. And you may notice that I didn't include tires, and well, that's because I'm still on the original tires. People say that Tesla tires tend to wear much quickly, but at 52,000 miles, mine are still looking pretty good. And I do have the acceleration boost, and while I do enjoy that from time to time, I generally don't drive like a maniac, so maybe that's helped preserve the life of the tires. So my maintenance cost is $158, which is super low, but how much would I have spent if I was driving a gas car? So obviously I couldn't find exact stats of how much maintenance costs for 50,000 miles in a gas car. So I asked ChatGPT, after 52,000 miles in a typical gasoline car, how much would a person spend on average in maintenance costs? And it told me the first 50,000 miles in a gas car includes these things and costs somewhere between $1,920 and $4,600. So how much have I saved? Well, pick whatever number you want between 1920 and 4,600 and subtract 158, and that's about how much I saved, which is a lot. Now let's talk about insurance. And I do have Tesla insurance, and to be honest, I don't recommend Tesla insurance. When something happens, it is impossible to get a hold of an adjuster or anybody at the Tesla insurance company, but they are the cheapest for Teslas, at least by a pretty good amount compared to other companies I've gotten quotes from. So Tesla insurance monitors your driving habits. It gives you a safety score depending on how safe you drive, and then it gives you a rate based on your safety score. And I think I saw somewhere a safety score of 90 is average, but my fiance and I drive normal, I would say, and we have no issue getting in the high 90s for our safety score, so I feel like 90 is not hard to do. But I just wanted to clarify that because based on our safety score, our insurance premium does go up or down a few dollars a month depending on our score that month. And also, I do have pretty decent insurance coverage, much more than the minimum, so keep that in mind. So anyway, my upcoming premium for this month here in October is $93.79. And that's based off a safety score of 99. And like I said, it does go up or down a few dollars month per month, but let's use this number and compare insurance premiums to a gas car. So again, I asked ChatGPT, what does an average driver pay per month for car insurance in an average gas car? It gave me somewhere between 125 and 175, so we'll use 150 just for an estimate. So doing some quick math, let's do 150 minus what I pay, $93.79, equals $56.21, which is about how much I'm saving per month by using Tesla insurance. And like I said, I've had my car for a little over 2 years. So if we take that number that I'm saving per month, that $56.21, and take it over 2 years, I've saved $1,349.04 on car insurance over 2 years. And I know some people actually say that Teslas are more expensive to insure, but most Tesla owners I talk to are actually saving money on their car insurance, especially those who also have Tesla insurance. And yes, again, even with that much savings, we still wouldn't recommend Tesla insurance. The Model 3 collision went okay, but we got in an accident in our Model Y back in February, and it is now October. We are still waiting for our deductible because the guy didn't have insurance, but it's a long story. But things just move super, super slow with Tesla insurance. So let's go ahead and wrap it all up. What you've been waiting for, how much I've spent in total versus how much I have saved in total. So my total cost, including charging, maintenance, and insurance, total charging costs at home and supercharging combined, $2,840. Maintenance, $158. And insurance, use an estimate, $93.79 what I spent over 2 years. So let's just say I spent about $2,250.96. Adding all that up, that brings me to a total cost of $5,248.96. Sounds like a lot? Let's go ahead and see how much I've saved. Using math from before, the amount of money I saved charging was $4,649. The amount of money I saved on maintenance, so the cost for maintenance in a gas car we said was between $1,920 and $4,600. Let's just say like $2,000 for a super conservative estimate, I guess. So $2,000 saved on maintenance and insurance. I saved a total of, like we said, $1,349.04, which brings me to a total amount saved of $7,998.04, which, if you ask me, is quite a bit a chunk of change. Which my takeaway from this is that driving a Tesla is not super cheap. $5,000, still quite a bit amount of money, even over 52,000 miles. but driving a gas car can be a lot more expensive. So there you have it, all my costs over 52,000 miles. I posted my 50,000 mile review video, and I had people tell me, despite all this stuff that I showed you, that my costs were wrong. So if you think I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I showed you how I got my numbers. But I do love this car, and I plan to drive it for a very, very long time. So I'll make another video just like this one once I hit 100,000 miles, so stay tuned for that. But between now and then, we'll continue to take our car on a bunch of camping trips, road trips, and other fun adventures. So if you want to see all that, make sure you subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.